Hello and a very good evening to you all. Here we are, yes again, just a few days before the calamity or the chaos of Christmas. And there's much going on in the world. And I don't know here. Um, it seems I'm by myself for the moment. Mother Duck says hello, and Sharon Osvenom. Hello to Mother Duck and Sharon Osvenom and Nicole and Melissa and Paulie and Tim Fowler, Sue Amos, Chili Kareen and Peter Evans, Christina Logan, Louise Lewis. So hello and good evening to you all. So yes, we're approaching the end of the year and the Christmas period. And thank you to everyone else that is deciding to join. That is very, very kind of you, and we welcome you all. And we will talk about a number of topics today. And those topics number Meghan Markle and her new association with a coffee brand. Completely tacky and completely tawdry. Harriet says she's here to help if we want to do a quiz. We will be doing a quiz, but we will be using a different book tonight to give a bit of variety. A spice is the variety of life, as they say. So we will be doing a different quiz book. We will be talking a bit about Michelle Mone and my petition that I started today, and I would like you all to support my petition. So we'll come to that. And we will talk a bit more about Prince Andrew and Salman Turk, who 1.4 million. Interesting somehow. So naughty, naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty indeed. So before we begin, may I recommend a book that was kindly sent to me by a lovely lady who sent me a whole manner of things, and I have sent her a postcard, and I hope she's received it. I haven't heard back from her. She sent me a book about Patty Boyd. Now, I don't know Patty Boyd well personally. I do know her husband, Rod Weston, and Patty Boyd happened to be married to Eric Clapton and to George Harrison. So this is a book that my neighbour has read. It's called Wonderful Tonight, George Harrison, Eric Clapton and Me. And it was published in 2007. I do think it's something that's quite an enjoyable read. My neighbour very much enjoyed reading it, but found that she thought that there was so much involved about drugs and deviancy and naughtiness, but she did enjoy the book. So that is the book, Patty Boyd, Wonderful Tonight, George Harrison, Eric Clapton and Me, published by... gosh, it's very hard to find anything in this book. Harmony Books of New York. So let's see if you enjoy reading that one. So there we go. So that's that dealt with. And right, next topic. So where shall I begin? There's so much we could talk about. And amongst the topics is the first one, which let me have a look. My petition. Okay, let's begin with my petition. So I have a petition that I started today about Michelle Mone. There is no petition on change.org. Well, there wasn't until I created one on change.org. Now, I've created petitions on change.org before. My most successful petition has nearly 50,000 signatories, and 3 of my petitions there have resulted in change. So change.org is something that does work. I ran a petition against the giraffe slaying Merrilies van der Merwe and the abuser of all sorts of animals and associated with the Trump family, the Trump crime family, Larissa Switlick. So I have had success there. I've had the Capriolius Club, who tried to have events in Richard Caring's restaurants, Mark's Club in Mayfair, amongst them, cancelled, and at other venues cancelled by running petitions on it. So it does work. So I decided today to start a petition against the grubby grifter Baroness Mone. And the grubby Glaswegian grifter, here is the link to her petition, and Nicole has already preempted my having mentioned it. Please, will you go, all of you, and sign this petition? It's within a few hours, it's had 60 signatures. It's not a lot, but it's a start. And please share it with all your followers, share widely, and share as much as you can. Really, we have to get this woman expelled. Michelle Mone should not be in the House of Lords. Baroness Bra, the grubby Glaswegian grifter, is not fit to be in the House of Lords. She should be thrown out with the dishwater, and she should be put in the bag with the body of the dunces. She is worse than the village idiot. She's worse than the village plague. And as for that chubby, grubby hubby of hers, he really needs to be locked up in the jail in Spain. So let's hope that he gets convicted in Spain. He is a piece of filth who can't even dress properly. He's disgusting. And, her previous boyfriend was a golf caddy from Barbados, and I didn't know of him. I did meet him, and that's how I kind of came across her in the first place, with all this kind of crowd that when she used to hang around in the Carlton Tower in Knightsbridge. But, of course, that place closed down, and we all move on. I'm very glad not to have her company anymore, but as I've talked about her in the past, this woman is a disgrace. But please sign my petition. Here is the link to it yet again. Please make sure you follow the entire process, because if you don't follow the process, your signature isn't included. So you have to click the links in the correct fashion, because this change.org is, well, I don't find it simple, but I'm a simpleton. So I'm worse than the village idiot when it comes to following process on the internet. I'm not a very technical spark. So there we go. Absolutely appalling is this woman, and I think she needs to be sent away. So on the petition, I wrote the following text. I said, expel grubby Glaswegian grifter and PPE profiteer Michelle Mone from the House of Lords. We're now at 66 signatures. I've only just started this today, so it's very new, and people, do start sharing it, and people give cash, and then it shares more. That's how it works. But I got to 50,000 with my other one, so, I am actually capable of using this system. I have worked it out. One-time bra flogger, the Right Honourable the Baroness Mone, OBE of Mayfair in the City of Westminster, was appointed to the House of Lords on the 30th of September 2015 at the behest of David Cameron, now the Right Honourable the Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton PC. She has hardly ever been seen in the chamber in the time since, which I've spelt incorrectly, so I must correct that, and has had an appallingly low voting record there. But what is utterly disgraceful is that this self-admitted liar utilised her connections there to become a pandemic profiteer on a truly epic scale. Whilst many quite rightly ask why this grubby Glaswegian grifter was ever even elevated in such a way in the first place, recent revelations have proven Baroness Mone to be entirely unfit to remain in the upper house of the Parliament of the United Kingdom. Here is not someone who has served the British public, but here instead is a self-serving woman, I should change that to wastrel, who has used her position to feather her own nest. In an interview with the BBC's Laura Kuenssberg that first aired on Sunday, the 18th of December 2023, Baroness Mone, aka Baroness Bra, confirmed that she had lied to the media and thus to the public about her and her husband Doug Barrowman's involvement in the PPE MedPro scandal. Baroness Mone, I continue, in fact, in that interview, admitted she had lied about how she stands to benefit from the £203 million that resulted from PPE contracts awarded to a company linked to her hapless hubby Doug Barrowman's firm, PPE MedPro. She has also admitted to telling lies about how, as named beneficiaries of a trust connected to the firm, her and her family will ultimately receive millions from the profits made, and thus has brought disgrace upon herself, the Conservative Party, and the House of Lords. Harriet is welcome to put a link to the petition wherever Harriet would like to put a link to this petition. Please sign and share. I shall continue. So please, Harriet, do whatever you wish. I have no idea where you can put it. I put the link in the conversation. I'm sure people can see it there, but if you wish to add it elsewhere, please do. Baroness Mone's record of shame is shocking. Number one, her low attendance record at the House of Lords resulted in SNP MSP Rona Mackay to describe her as the Labour Lady of Mayfair. Baroness Mone has not spoken in a debate since March 2020 and has not voted since April 2022. After a complaint was made by the Labour peer George Fawkes, the House of Lords Commissioners for Standards launched an investigation into the relationship between Baroness Mone and PPE MedPro in January 2022. The NCA announced they were liaising with the Crown Prosecution Service and could ultimately seek to bring charges under bribery or fraud laws in April 2022. Documents leaked to The Guardian revealed Baroness Mone and her children would receive £29 million of the profits from the firm, placed into a trust that they would be the beneficiaries of. In December 2022, the government started legal action to recover more than £100 million from PPE MedPro after the gowns it supplied had been rejected. The Department of Health and Social Care, DHSC, seeks the full £122 million for the contract, as well as the costs for storing and destroying the clearly faulty garments supplied. In December 2023, putting herself in the league of Prince Andrew for giving a car crash interview of epic proportions, Baroness Mone appeared on Laura Kuenssberg's BBC show along with Douglas Barrowman and stated that she had lied to the press to protect my family. She ludicrously declared that this was not a crime. In doing so, this self-admitted liar, and she is a liar, let's emphasize the word liar, confirmed herself unfit for high office and should thus be permanently expelled from the House of Lords and the Conservative Party. Enough is enough, I conclude. It is time for this disgraceful liar simply to go. So that is what I have put on this change.org petition. And, there's 122 of you watching this, so I expect 122 signatories. Come on, let's be having you, as Delia Smith would say. Get your body in the bag, get your body in the room. Come on, just sign the petition. There's 123 of you now. I want to see 123 new signatures. Please get on with it. It's very disappointing that you haven't signed yet, because there are 66, but that's not half of you. So there we go. So that is the petition. The petition is a very simple matter. And there we go. So we've dealt with the book. We've dealt with the petition. So I suppose we should carry on talking about Mrs. Mone. So Mrs. Mone, where are my notes? Let me have a look. Mrs. Mone is now going to be sued herself. Life isn't working out very well for Lady M, the woman who claimed she didn't own a boat called a Lady M. And the New European have announced today why we're suing Michelle Mone. Here is a very interesting article for you to read. And they're not the only ones suing her, but good for them. This newspaper has instructed solicitors and counsel and expects to begin the case against Mone early in the new year, said the New European. They want to recover legal fees spent and responding to her deceitful threats against us over our reporting of the PPE MedPro scandal. They're going to be working with the Good Law Project, and they're going to begin a case against Baroness Mone early in the new year. So Baroness Mone has dug a hole, and she keeps digging. Perhaps Baroness Mone would be wise at this stage, at this juncture, to say the simplest word. And it's a very, very simple word. It's called sorry. She needs to say sorry to the New European for daring to tell porky pies. She is a porky pie teller. Louisa asks, what do you call a man with a shovel? I don't know. It's obviously a joke, but it obviously relates to Michelle Mone. Louisa says dough. Okay. Thank you, Louisa. Yes. Right. Angela Byrne will sign after the chat. Well, thank you, Angela. And the rest of you, thank you to Montecute, who claims to have signed also. I can soon see who's signed, because the ones that give their names I can see, but currently we now stand at... I don't know. It's not so clear. My petitions. Okay, well, I'll have a look at that. Let's have a look. Right. 74 have signed now, so it is going up. Right. So Michelle Mone has admitted being a liar. Michelle Mone is now being sued. This is not going to end well for Michelle Mone. Nicole Dunn said of her and her rotund husband are the pits. An absolute shameful pair. That's somebody who wrote to me after signing my petition. The lawyers say, we want our money back. We are going to cause you a stink, Michelle Mone. You are a stupid woman. And when I encountered you years ago, you were always arrogant and you were always a bit pompous and you were always, a little bit above your station given who you really were. You're nothing but a nasty, grabbing grifter. And it's jolly well time that you said sorry to all the people that you upset, offended, and took advantage of. Shame on you, Michelle Mone. And as for your stupid husband, I hope he rots in jail in Spain, because that's where he's headed. He is a complete Burke. So, no, we don't like Douglas Barrowman. Douglas Barrow boy should be thrown on the Bibby Stockholm. And as for you, Michelle Mona, you're just as much of a grifter as Meghan Markle. Now, I'll come to the next grifter, which is Meghan Markle. And, right, let me find my next topic, which is Meghan. So Meghan Markle has been making adverts. You thought that this woman who went to seek privacy in California would shut her gob. But no, Meghan Markle is now making adverts for coffee companies. So the former royal, because that's how the Daily Express describe her, as far as I'm aware, she's still a royal because she's still married to a member of the royal family. So I think the Daily Express are actually incorrect. Though we don't want her to be a royal, but we don't have to pretend that we like her being a royal. But she is not a former royal. That is a load of Barry bull. Pouring myself another glass of wine. Anyway, so this silly woman is making videos with a company she has invested in called CLEVR, which is also, of course, linked to Oprah Winfrey. Now, I don't know how clever Meghan Markle is. I would say Meghan Markle is worse than the village idiot. She is a complete fool and a complete prat. And she's just as bad as Michelle Mone. I think Michelle Mone and Meghan Markle, or the Duchess of Sussex, as is a correct title, to get a room, because the pair of them, they belong together. Greedy, grabbing, grifting liars, mendacious menaces, mendacious minxes who, are quite happy to strip off to the extent of tackiness. Both of them have been photographed in their bra and knickers, a disgusting pair of toe rags. I don't like either of them. They are revolting and repugnant, shocking and salacious, absolutely appalling. Now, this Meghan Markle has, according to Town and Country, which is a very shishi magazine in America, and a friend of mine writes for it, they begin their article, which was written by someone called Sophie Dweck, never heard of her. Meghan Markle is a royal mom, wife, and mom with M-O-M. How tacky. I would have expected better of Town and Country. Meghan Markle is a royal mom, wife, former actress, activist, and now a digital staffer. In a newly released Instagram video posted by CLEVR, the instant latte brand the Duchess of Sussex has invested in Meghan makes a cameo as the company's co-founder. Hannah Mendoza welcomes viewers to the headquarters. So this idiot, Meghan Markle, has made a video with a coffee company she has invested in. Coffee. And Oprah Winfrey has something to do with it too. That puts the pot on the biscuit. I won't even go there with the ludicrousness nature of the dreadful, wicked Oprah Winfrey, who is someone I have no respect for. She's not meant to be a thoroughly nasty person. My friends who live in Montecito can't stand having her as a neighbor or Meghan Markle as a neighbor. So bog off, Oprah. But Oprah Winfrey, stick her on the bibby, Stockholm. It's where she bloody well belongs. Right. Harriet says, I've had a few encounters with Meghan Markle's pre-Harry. She was a nightmare then. So Harriet, one of our guests in the audience, who is also going to be conducting our quiz, claims to know Meghan Markle. So Harriet, I don't know what you know about Meghan Markle, but perhaps you might wish to share these views with our world. So Harriet, if you have something to say, we will happily read out your comments. If you are truly telling us the truth of your encounters, come on, let's share them with the world. You can't leave us on this this little hinge. So come on, let's share it with the world. If you want to tell us, you can't just mention it and then say no more. So, right. Mother Duck was on the Oprah Winfrey show a few years ago. Well, good for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I would pay not to go on the Oprah Winfrey show. Oprah Winfrey is nearly as bad as Cilla Black and Anthea Turner combined. It could be absolutely awful. Right. Nicole says, let's be having you, Harriet. I agree with Nicole. Come on, Harriet. If you want to speak about this, you need to share your story. So please give a bit more information on your story. Fergie, yes. Well, she's been on lots of these programs, but she'd go anywhere where she could get a free quid. Let's be honest. There we are. Montecute wants Harriet to spill the tea. Anyway, it doesn't look like Harriet is planning on spilling the tea. But no, Meghan has been making programs to profiteer yet again. She is a woman who went to America to seek privacy. Yet she is now appearing in videos for coffee companies that she supposedly invested in. They probably gave her the shares for free. And she probably is doing this out of, recompense. That's how people like her operate. And I'll come to a whole family of grubby grifters who've done the same thing in most recent weeks. Also in a moment from the same family, but there we go. This woman is an absolutely appalling piece of junk. And Harriet says that she used to go to the same hair salon as Meghan Markle. And that Meghan Markle was rude to the staff. And she corrected her, and Meghan Markle told her to F *** off. Now, I don't know which hair salon this is, but maybe Harriet will enlighten us as to which hair salon this was. That would be a useful piece of evidence, because then we can see whether it is correct. Okay, we believe Harriet because Harriet is a lovely lady. But Harriet, perhaps you could name the hair salon concerned. That would be a useful piece of information in this narrative. Thank you. So, right. Anyway, so this woman, Meghan Markle, made all these videos. They have been utterly laughed at, not laughed with. It won't fit in the chat, says Harriet of the. Well, all we need is the name of the hair salon, just a name of the hair salon in London. I assume it was that you both went to. Was it Nicky Clark or was it Trevor Sorby? Asked Nicole, or was it the place on Sloane Square? Let's be honest. Come on, we have to just have the name of the hair salon. That's all we need to know, Harriet. We don't need anything else. We need a name and shame. Yes, says Harry Giles. I totally agree. You can't start a conversation and then not finish it. In Toronto, okay, a hair salon in Toronto. Well, that definitely doesn't matter because the hair salon in Toronto, she doesn't go to anymore. So name and shame. Come on, Harriet, man up, grow up, and show up. Let's have the name of the hair salon where you had a confrontation with Meghan Markle. There is no excuse for rudeness, as Linda Jo rightly says. There we go. It was Canada. So anyway, old Megs, the dreaded Meg, has gone a bit too far. So whilst we're waiting for Harriet, we're now up to 78 signatures. Come along. Let's be having you. The hair salon that Harriet encountered Meghan Markle, as she then was called Robert Gage. It was about 8 years ago. And she was very rude in Robert Gage 8 years ago. So there we go. Robert Gage was the place that Meghan Markle was rude to our lovely Harriet. So that's a terrible thing. So anyway, Meghan has gone a little bit too far. Meghan has been savaged after the video, and consequently, people have made complaints. So people like a man called Walker, Mr. Walker, Cameron Walker, a royal correspondent for the Daily Express, said, this company, CLEVR Brands, she's actually invested a lot of money in this. She previously appeared in a video advertising this coffee brand earlier this year. And again, we've seen her in this latest video with the co-founder, Hannah Mendoza, who it's thought is quite good friends with Meghan Markle, i.e. the Duchess of Sussex. So I think that this just shows Meghan as being Hollywood rather than royal. So that is his thoughts on that. So CLEVR blends, which is the most disgusting looking thing. They sell what's called a mocha super latte, a sleep time super latte, a chai super latte, a matcha super latte, a golden super latte, a coffee super latte. Do I need to vomit anymore? I hate coffee. I don't drink coffee, and most of their coffee is sold out. Well, I don't think it probably was sold in. Frankly, CLEVR is nothing but stupid, so we don't need to know any more about that. So, meanwhile, we are running out of time because we've got so many topics to cover. But our petition is growing, and thank you for sharing our petition. Here is our petition yet again. Please sign and please make sure you put it on your social media channel. Please share it. Please share widely. Please share with your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, and your best friend. Thank you. Please make sure we get this petition out there. Let's destroy Baroness Mone, a wicked, truly evil woman. Right. So Harriet is an expert on Meghan Markle, which is a very interesting thing to know. So, right, which topics haven't I covered yet of my list? So, I have had messages today from victims of Ghislaine Maxwell, from a lady in particular who shared with me information about the 100 whatever 70 80 names that will be released on the 1st of January, and she and I have been in touch from the very beginning, and I also have a number of other victims who I deal with, people who are not named, and we will see what happens on the 1st of January with the Jeffrey Epstein list of names. Now, will Prince Andrew be named? Will Bill Clinton be named? Will Ehud Barak be named? Will Woody Allen be named? Will, can I go on? I could go on and on and on. Giuliani, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. They are all lurking in the background. And I have been going on about this for years, and I have been told to shut up. Well, I hope this list is yet more evidence of why I should never have shut up, and which is why I never did. And the morons and the village idiots who associated with the monster Ghislaine Maxwell, because there's no point going on about Jeffrey Epstein. He's dead. You can't do anything to him. Punish Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell is a wicked, evil witch. Ghislaine Maxwell had a father who said, I had a beautiful daughter and she's just like me. No, change the word beautiful to monstrous, to deviant, to destructive, to vile, to sick, to reprehensible, to rotten. That is what we should change that word to. Ghislaine Maxwell is the scummiest person I have ever met in my entire life. I've met some very bad people. I've met murderers. I've met monsters. But Ghislaine Maxwell has abused so many people. She is sick. She's twisted. She's rotten, and she's wrong. And this bitch deserves to burn in hell. And I hope that this revelation on the 1st of January will help bring about yet further destruction for this wicked, evil wench. She is completely wrong. But Prince Andrew, meanwhile, has his own problems. So Prince Andrew is now facing more problems in relation to a man called Selman Turk. So Mr. Turk he was a director of the IPEC Education Property Development Limited company. Here's a link to all his company directorships. Boom. Just in case you don't believe me. The GSI Educational Services Limited, the NOIS Capitals, the Madara Capitals, based in Park Lane. He is a truly reprehensible piece of rubbish by the sound of him. Linked to Goldman Sachs, yet another dodgy banker. I've never met a banker who isn't polite, who isn't awful. I'd love to meet one. I have some friends who are bankers, but I wouldn't trust them with a barge pole. Anyway, Salman Turk gave Prince Andrew 1.4 million. 750,000 went to him, plus another 350,000. Fergie got 225,000, and Princess Eugenie got 25,000. She was the bargain bucket basement. Yeah, she was the yellow sticker. Oh dear, absolutely appalling. This man, Salman Turk, has allegedly stolen 40 million. So what is going on? Let's be having you, Mr. Turk. Let's have the true story of what went on with you and Randy Andy. We need to know the truth. We need to know the truth of the matter, the truth of the family album. So let's be having you, and let's get it on. Let's bring on the truth of the story. So I shall provide you a couple of links to a couple of articles, and then you can make up your own minds. There's one from The Guardian. Here's one from the Daily Mail. Contrast. I do provide differing views. And let me see. I think that's about it. I think that's all you need to know on this front. So I think it is time. Yes, Andrew has no remorse. He is so arrogant. He lacks emotional intelligence so extremely. If it hit him in the face, he would assume it was an adoring fan. So there we go. Yes, right. So we will try doing a quiz if our quiz mistress is available. Right. I don't know if the quiz mistress is available or not. Harry Giles says, good luck. Oh, good luck. Sounds very northern. Right. Do I have a pen? Oh, if I don't have a pen, I have a problem. Oh, here's a pen. Right. Harriet is ready. Right. Right. This book is very different. It's got general knowledge. Okay, we'll try that. Okay. Which sign of the zodiac, question number 1, is represented by a lion? The winner with Leo is Busted. Well done to Leo. Busted. Busted is Leo for the night. How many sides are there on the British £1 coin introduced in 2017? It's not 6, and it's not 7, it's not 8, it's not 10. Paulie gets the point with 12. Well done to Paulie. Paulie gets the point. In the terms GPS, what does the letter G stand for? Montecute wins with Global. Cheers and best wishes to Montecute. Right. Question number 4. What kind of food item is a butty? A butty. Montecute wins with a sandwich. Well done to Montecute. What make of car has had models called the Silver Cloud, Silver Ghost, and Silver Shadow? Bambi Debonair wins with a Rolls-Royce, a remarkable firm that I have quite a close association with. Lovely firm. Delightful. Right. The word graffiti comes from the Italian for what? Conrad Wilson wins with a writing. Well done to Conrad Wilson. You get the point. Which month of the year comes last in alphabetical order? It is not October. Nicola Moffat wins with September. Well done to Nicola Moffat. You win the point. At which supermarket can you earn nectar points? Which supermarket can you earn nectar points? Daniel Wildgoose wins with Sainsbury's. Well done to Daniel Wildgoose. You get the point. You are the strongest link. In the days of coal fires in the home, wallpaper cleaner was a typical household product. When the need for that disappeared, a Cincinnati-based company rebranded their wallpaper cleaner as what children's product? It was not sugar soap, no. No, it was not sugar soap, so don't repeat yourselves. It wasn't baby powered or nappies or paint, no. It wasn't Ajax, it wasn't Vim. Jane Griffiths wins with a Play-Doh. Jane Griffiths is our winner chicken dinner on that particular one. Which celebrity, I hate the word celebrity, it's a tacky word. Many tattoos include the Roman numeral V211 and the words Romeo and Brooklyn, or 7. The Roman numeral 7, or V11. No, it is not the Beckhams, but Daniel Wildgoose gets it with David Beckham because you can't have it on everybody. So anyway, that's the answers to that set of questions. Right. So we'll try a separate set of questions from the same page. This may confuse you. Who, with Axel Schleifer, wrote The Snail and the Whale, Zog, and a Squash and a Squeeze? It wasn't Cilla Black. Daniel Wildgoose wins with Julia Donaldson. Well done to... Oh, I've just dropped my pen. Oh dear. I'm sorry, I shall have to go looking for my pen. But I've got it. Right. So, how many strings, question 2, are there on a cello? There are not 6, Bambi Debonair, but Nicola Moffat is correct with 4. Well done to Nicola Moffat. Daniel Wildgoose has taken the lead, according to Harriet. Well done to Daniel Wildgoose. Right. What name is given to a surface on which an artist mixes color? Montecute wins with palette. Well done to Montecute. What job is held by the title character of a Rossini opera set in Seville? A very simple question. Even the village idiot who was born in a barn could answer this. The first person to answer correctly is Montecute with Barber, the Barber of Seville, of course. This is one I would never be able to answer because I've never actually read any of this stuff, though I have no problem with the lady who read it. On which birthday does Harry Potter discover he's a wizard? It wasn't the 8th. Montecute wins with the 11th. Right, Montecute gets the point. Pablo Picasso's Guernica was painted during which civil war? Montecute wins with Spanish. Well done to Montecute. In the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, how many genuine golden tickets are there? How many golden tickets are there in this book? I think that the winner is Nicola Moffat with 5. Well done to Nicola Moffat. Nicola Moffat definitely won a golden ticket. Those of you who said 7, you are the weakest link. You need to be told goodbye. What is the name of the Shakespeare work, often known as the Scottish play? Daniel Wildgoose wins with Macbeth. Well done to Daniel Wildgoose. You get that particular point. Right, your penultimate question. Which author created the epic work Paradise Lost? We need the full name. It wasn't J.R. Hartley, and it was. I would like the full name on this occasion. If you want to re-enter your answer, it wasn't Anthea Milton, no. It wasn't Steinbeck. It wasn't John Hilton. So Chili Careen wins with John Milton. So you got the full name. Right. Which of the 12 apostles of Jesus, according to the Gospel of John, didn't believe in the resurrection when first told of it? We need his full name also. I want the full name before we have an answer. Some of you are giving a name, but you're not giving his correct full name. Montecute wins with Doubting Thomas. Well done to Montecute. So, do we have a scores on the doors, Miss Dawes? Do we have something from you, Debbie McGee? And Debbie McGee was on the television box this evening on the Yorkshire Auction House or whatever it was, because I happened to turn it on whilst I was waiting for something else on the radio. So there we go. Montecute is the winner. Wild Goose is second. Congratulations to you both. And thank you for all of you for participating. You've been wonderful. You've been delightful. You've been delectable. You've been delicious. It's been an absolute pleasure and an absolute success. So I say cheers to you and cheers to me. And my pen has fallen off, but we'll disagree. Anyway, I wish you all a very happy evening. Good night, good gardening, and don't let the bed bugs bite. And as the late, great Jill Dando would always say, don't have nightmares. Take care, best wishes, and see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.